Hey, Kaylee.
What?
What did the buffalo say to his son when he dropped him off at school?
Bye, son.
Bye, son! This week's episode is brought to you by Kerry from Mickey World Travel. Kerry is a full-service travel agent that can help you book your next dream vacation. Contact Kerry to learn more about the onboard credits she can offer through Disney Cruise Lines, along with other special offers available through Disney Resorts, Royal Caribbean, and Norwegian Cruise Lines. Good morning. Today we are at the Bronx Zoo. It is the beginning of March. And one of the things we've never done is come to the Bronx Zoo in the middle of the winter. So I wanted to come and check it out and see if it's worth it, and let you guys know if you're gonna come and pay for park admission to get into the Bronx Zoo, is it worth it? So let's head on in and find out. So obviously it's cold out in the winter here in New York City, so you gotta find the little places to duck into to get a little bit warmed up before you head back out on another adventure. So we're heading into the World of Birds right now to warm up a little bit. So it's nice and warm inside the World of Birds. So if you are looking for a place to warm up with the kids, I definitely recommend coming in here. It's a two-story building with a ton of birds. The cool part is once you get up to the second floor, you actually can look down on the exhibits that you walked through on the first floor and actually get a higher view of it. So definitely recommend coming in and checking this place out if you're looking for a place to warm up during the winter. So as I was mentioning down below, you can see behind me here, we're on the second floor now. You're able to look down into the exhibits that we were looking at from below. So really cool to check out both aspects of where the birds live. All right, guys, so Kaylee just went on the upper part of the nature trek all by herself for the first time. High five. She hadn't done that before, so that's a big deal. Proud of you. Hey guys, so it looks like they started installing the water bottle refill stations here, which is pretty awesome to see. This definitely wasn't here when we were here the last time, so glad to see that they're putting these in because it's really convenient when you're walking around and you just need to grab a quick bottle of water, just fill it up right there. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the cons of coming to the Bronx Zoo during the winter time. The first and foremost, the obvious con is going to be the weather. It's no surprise that living in the northeast part of the country, we do experience some extreme cold weather during the winter time. We are fortunate that today just happens to be a beautiful day. It's about 55 to 60 degrees today, so we're lucking out big time, but theoretically you could be here and it could be freezing. The next downside to coming to the Bronx Zoo in the middle of the winter is the concessions are not all open. As we made our way around the park today, we found that basically everything with the exception of the Dancing Crane Cafe was closed. So what that basically means for you is that if you're in, let's say, Asia, and you've got a young kid who's hungry and is starting to get a little bit upset and maybe a little hangry, you got to make your way all the way to the middle of the zoo to be able to grab some food for them. I guess if you're packing lunch, that's not a big deal. We generally don't. So if you're packing lunch, that might not be a big deal to you, but if you are coming here and planning on buying food, just keep in mind that during the winter time, a lot of the concessions are not open. One of the other downsides to coming to the Bronx Zoo in the winter is some of the attractions aren't open. Now this makes common sense because it's obvious that with cold weather, some of these animals just wouldn't be able to survive. So for instance, the Komodo dragons and the tortoises are not outside during the cold weather, but that's not to mean you can't go see them. The Komodo dragon is located in the main zoo center right now, and you can go in at any time you want and check it out. It's just being able to walk through there, maybe take a picture with your kids sitting on this Komodo dragon statue. You're not gonna have that access. One of the other downsides to being here during the winter time is the construction. So they must use this as their downtime, which makes total sense. And because of that, throughout the park, you're gonna notice that they have construction walls up and they're doing a lot of work around the place. The quick service window for Dancing Crane Cafe was closed for that reason. And there was also a couple other places throughout the park where there was construction gates up. It just takes away from the aesthetic of the zoo. But I'm sure when you're here during peak time in the summertime, there's gonna be something new and beautiful there for you guys to enjoy. The last con that I saw today that I wanted to make sure you guys were aware of is when you go up to the concession stands, they sell these refillable cups, and I believe they're $15. And basically when you buy this cup, you get unlimited refills for that day that you're in the park. Now that's good throughout the entire zoo. Now what you don't realize is if you buy that refillable cup, let's say while you're having lunch, And then again, just like earlier, you end up in Asia and you're out of drink, you got to walk all the way back to the middle of the park to get that cup refilled. So do I think that's a great value during a time frame when all the concessions are open? Absolutely. But for the winter time, maybe just pack some extra water. All right, so now let's talk a little bit about the positive side of coming to the Bronx Zoo during the winter months. We just walked into the Gorilla Forest exhibit, which is one of the most popular exhibits in the zoo. And they are not charging admission to get in for this during the winter time. So if you're looking to come and check out the gorilla exhibit but don't want to pay the $5 or $6 or whatever it is to get in, it's free during the winter. All right, so I want to make a little amendment to the previous statement that I made about if you want to come see the gorillas during the winter time, they're free. The reason they allow you in here for free is because the gorillas are not out and about in the gorilla encounter like they normally are. So just keep that in mind. Might be another one of the negatives that the most popular attraction at the zoo is not really open during the winter. Another one of the benefits of coming to the zoo during the winter time is crowd levels. Because it's cold and a lot of the attractions aren't open, there's not a lot of people here. So the kids get to interact with a lot of the interactive elements that they normally wouldn't get to really spend too much time with because there's a lot of kids also playing with them. Also, the attractions themselves are emptier. You can actually walk into areas and spend a little bit of time with you and your family instead of having to rush in, see the animals, and rush out so the next crowd could come in. So definitely a plus. Another point to the crowd levels are, even though all the concession stands are closed, Dancing Crane Cafe was not nearly as busy as it is on a normal day during the summer when there are multiple other places for people to eat. Also, the store was dead too. And the last major pro to coming here during the winter time is because of the cooler weather, the animals are a lot more active. We got to see animals that are usually just laying around or even hiding in a little corner somewhere, out and about moving around today, as you can see in the footage that I provided here. Well guys, that's gonna do it for us today from the Bronx Zoo in the winter time. Overall, it was a good experience. I mean, it's not as crazy busy as it is during the summertime, but you're also looking at about half the attractions that aren't open. So if you are planning on coming here and you're going to be paying admission to get in, I would just keep in mind that you are not going to be able to get the full Bronx Zoo experience. If you're an annual pass holder and you want to just come and check it out, I highly recommend it. If you guys like the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. You have no idea how much it helps us out. Leave a comment down below if there's any place you guys are interested in letting us go out and check out for you guys. I'd love to do some more reviews for you. And with that being said, we're done, son.